For the first time since the shutdown, the U.S. Senate is slated to take up two competing bills, both aimed at reopening the government.
24-hour News 8 political reporter Rick Albin is here now with why this is likely not the end of the standoff in Washington. Rick?
Brian and Sue, in a little less than 24 hours, senators on both sides of the aisle will have a chance to vote for a measure to fund government and put 800,000 workers back on the job. Republicans and Democrats have an opportunity to vote for one of the bills, and it's likely that all will, just not in sufficient numbers to pass either one of them. Democrats will likely favor a measure from the House that would temporarily fund government through February 8th with no funding for a border wall. Republicans seem more inclined to favor a plan that the president introduced on Saturday. That would fund the wall and offer some extensions for people brought here as children who now as adults face deportation, those on the DACA program. Either would require 60 votes to pass. I talked with Michigan's senior Senator Debbie Stabenow about the competing bills right here in the studio earlier today. Either a handful of your colleagues have to go along with the Republican-based plan, or about double that amount of Republicans would have to go along with the Democratic plan. I don't make any particular guesses, but just as an observer, it doesn't seem like that's the environment that exists right now.
I don't think either will have support. I'm working very hard with colleagues actually on both sides of the aisle to get to a point where folks will just stop using federal workers and their wages as hostages and put people back to work, open the government, and then we need to go through the regular order on the floor, have votes, and we'll see where people's support is.
Now, as the partial government shutdown stretches into its second month, the Senate will take action, but what is so often true in Washington, you shouldn't mistake movement for progress, as neither of these bills seem likely to pass. And even if they did, if you got the Democratic bill passed, it is not likely the president's going to sign it without funding for the wall. And if the Republican bill passes in the Senate, it's not going to pass in the House. So this is another starting point. And again, as I say, we enter the second month of this government shutdown, starting to have some real financial impact beyond just those people who are idled from their jobs.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Rick.